Most people think their body shuts down once they fall asleep. The truth is, one of your hardest working organs is just getting started. Throughout the night, your liver is busy filtering your blood, processing medications, breaking down toxins, and deciding whether stored fat will be burned for energy or remain exactly where it is. It performs these tasks quietly, without asking for attention. Yet the choices you make before bedtime can either support that work or make it much harder. That becomes even more important after the age of 60. Today, millions of older adults are living with excess fat inside their liver and have absolutely no idea it is there. Unlike many other health problems, fatty liver disease usually develops without obvious warning signs. The liver has very few pain-sensitive nerves, so damage can continue for years before routine blood work finally reveals that something is wrong. After spending years helping people improve their liver health through simple nutrition and lifestyle changes, I have learned one important lesson. Small habits repeated every day often matter far more than dramatic diets that are impossible to maintain. That is exactly why I created today's video. Tonight, I want to show you several fruits that can naturally support your liver during the hours when it performs most of its maintenance. Some of these recommendations will probably sound familiar. Others may surprise you. In fact, one fruit on this list is commonly avoided by people over 60 because they assume it contains too much sugar, even though it can actually fit into a healthy evening routine when eaten the right way. Be sure to stay until the end because I will also share a simple bedtime drink that combines some of the most beneficial ingredients into one easy recipe. Before we begin, I want to speak directly to anyone who believes they have waited too long to improve their liver health. Please do not lose hope. The liver is remarkable because it has an extraordinary ability to recover when the constant overload is removed and it finally receives the support it needs. I have seen people well into their 70s make meaningful improvements simply by changing a few daily habits and staying consistent. That is the reason I continue making these videos. My goal is to help you stay active, independent, and healthy for many more years, not simply accept that slowing down is an unavoidable part of aging. Now, let's take a closer look at what actually happens inside your liver every night. While you are sleeping and your digestive system finally gets a break, your liver shifts its attention toward maintenance. It releases stored fat to be used as fuel, processes waste products so they can be eliminated, repairs damaged cells, and prepares your body for the next day. Those overnight hours, between your last meal and breakfast the following morning, create an important opportunity for your liver to restore itself. Unfortunately, many people unknowingly interfere with that process. Ending the day with sugary desserts, processed snacks, or sweet drinks forces the liver to handle another wave of sugar and fat precisely when it should be focusing on cleanup and repair. Instead of burning stored fat, it often has no choice but to store even more. When that pattern continues month after month and year after year, fat gradually accumulates inside liver cells. This condition, known as fatty liver, may begin quietly, but over time it can trigger inflammation and eventually lead to permanent scarring if nothing changes. Timing is one of the most overlooked pieces of this puzzle. It is not only the foods you choose that matter, but also when you choose to eat them. Fatty liver develops slowly. First, excess fat builds up. Later, inflammation appears. If that inflammation continues long enough, scar tissue can begin replacing healthy liver tissue. And unlike fat, scar tissue cannot simply disappear. The encouraging news is that many people are still in the early stages without realizing it, which means they still have an opportunity to reverse the process. The evening meal gives you that opportunity every single day. The fruits I am about to share help your liver in several different ways while you sleep. Some provide antioxidants that protect liver cells from oxidative stress. Others contain soluble fiber that supports beneficial gut bacteria and reduces the amount of fat and harmful compounds reaching the liver. Several are also rich in natural plant compounds that encourage the liver to rely more on burning fat instead of storing it. Better yet, these fruits can be enjoyed in sensible portions without causing the large insulin spikes that many late-night snacks produce. Let's begin with the first fruit. Kiwi deserves one of the top spots on this list because its benefits extend far beyond vitamin C. Although a single kiwi provides an impressive amount of this important nutrient, what makes it especially valuable before bed is the combination of compounds that support both restful sleep and liver health. Unlike most fruits, kiwi naturally contains substances involved in the production of serotonin, a chemical that helps your brain prepare for sleep. Several studies have shown that people who eat kiwi before bedtime often fall asleep more quickly and stay asleep longer. Why does that matter? Because your liver performs many of its repair processes during deep, restorative sleep. The better your sleep quality, the more opportunity your liver has to complete those overnight tasks efficiently. Kiwi also supplies soluble fiber and powerful polyphenols, natural antioxidants that help reduce the low-grade inflammation commonly associated with fatty liver. Together, these nutrients create an environment that supports healthier liver function while you rest. For most people, eating 1 or 2 whole kiwis about an hour before bedtime is a simple way to include this fruit in an evening routine. If you enjoy the skin, leave it on after washing it thoroughly, since much of the fiber and many beneficial antioxidants are concentrated there. A quick rinse and gentle scrub are usually enough to remove the fuzzy texture and make it much easier to eat. Number 2 is blueberries, and this is the one with the strongest direct evidence for the liver itself. What makes a blueberry deep blue is a pigment called anthocyanin. That pigment is one of the most powerful liver protective compounds we know of in food. In clinical trials, concentrated anthocyanins lowered the liver enzymes that signal liver stress. Those are markers called ALT and AST that climb when liver cells are inflamed and leaking. Blueberries' anthocyanins do 2 things at once. They cool the inflammation inside the liver, and they appear to slow the liver's own machinery for making and storing new fat. If you skip this one because berries feel like a treat, you are walking past one of the cheapest pieces of liver insurance in the grocery store. Frozen works just as well as fresh here, and frozen is often picked riper, so the pigment content is high. Here's how to use them at night. A small handful, about half a cup, on their own, or stirred into a little plain yogurt. Keep the portion modest, because while the sugar in a blueberry is low and wrapped in fiber, you do not want a giant bowl right before bed. Half a cup gives your liver the pigment it needs without much sugar at all. Third on the list is one that surprises almost everyone, because most people do not even know it is a fruit: the avocado. Yes, botanically the avocado is a fruit, and for your liver, it might be the most useful one on this entire list. Most people avoid it because they hear the word fat and panic. That fear is costing them. The fat in an avocado is monounsaturated fat, the same family as olive oil, and it is one of the most liver-friendly foods you can eat. It helps pull fat out of the liver rather than pack it in. The avocado does something else that no other fruit here does as well. It is rich in glutathione, which is the master antioxidant your liver uses to detoxify everything that passes through it. Your liver makes glutathione itself, but production falls as we age, and a fatty liver burns through it fast. Eating a fruit that carries glutathione and the building blocks to make more of it is direct support for the exact system that cleans your blood overnight. On top of that, a single avocado carries around 10 grams of fiber, which feeds the gut and slows everything down. A quarter to a half of an avocado in the evening is plenty. Mash it with a little salt and lemon, or slice it onto a small piece of whole grain toast a couple of hours before bed. It is filling, so it also stops the late-night snack raid that wrecks so many livers. So far, every fruit has done the same quiet work, mopping up the damage and slowing the fat down, and we are only 3 in. The next 5 are where it gets interesting, including the one your doctor may have told you to avoid. Quick favor before I go on. If this is the first time anyone has actually explained why your liver needs help at night, instead of just telling you to eat better, hit subscribe and give this video a like. And if someone in your family is fighting their weight or their blood sugar, send it to them, because a fatty liver sits underneath both. So, number 4 is red grapes, and the color is the whole point. The skin of a red or purple grape is loaded with resveratrol, a plant compound that has become one of the most studied molecules in aging and liver research. Resveratrol works on the liver by activating a set of internal switches that tell your cells to burn fat for energy instead of hoarding it. It also calms inflammation in the liver and helps protect the liver cells from the oxidative stress of processing fat overnight. The green grape does not carry nearly as much of this, so reach for the red and purple ones. Now, a word of caution that keeps this honest. Grapes are sweeter than the other fruits we have covered, so portion is everything here. This is not a fruit to eat by the bowlful at night. About 10 to 15 red grapes is the right evening dose. Eat them whole, skin and all, because the resveratrol lives in the skin. A small trick I like is to freeze them because frozen grapes take longer to eat and feel like a real dessert, which keeps you from reaching for actual ice cream. Number 5 is the humble apple, and it works on your liver through a back door most people never think about: your gut. An apple is one of the best sources of soluble fiber there is, in the form of pectin. When that pectin reaches your gut, it feeds the good bacteria living there. And those bacteria produce compounds that travel up to the liver and tell it to calm down and store less fat. This connection between your gut and your liver runs in a straight line through a vein called the portal vein, and a healthy gut sends the liver healthy signals. A troubled gut floods it with inflammation. The apple quietly fixes the upstream end of that pipe. There is more. The skin of an apple carries quercetin, an antioxidant shown to reduce fat buildup and inflammation in the liver. Peel the apple and you throw most of that away. So, eat it whole. A medium apple in the evening is ideal, and a slightly tart one like a Granny Smith has less sugar and even more of the good fiber. If you want it to feel like a treat, slice it and sprinkle real cinnamon on top, which has its own gentle blood sugar benefit. Eat it an hour or two before bed so the fiber has time to do its work. Number 6 is pomegranate, and almost nobody thinks to reach for it at night, mostly because it has earned a reputation for being a hassle to eat. It is worth the small effort. Those little ruby seeds, the arils, are packed with compounds called punicolagens, which are some of the most potent antioxidants found in any fruit, stronger ounce for ounce than green tea or red wine. For your liver, that antioxidant power goes straight to the problem. A fatty liver is a liver under oxidative stress, that slow internal rusting I keep coming back to. And pomegranate floods it with exactly the compounds that quench that stress. The result in the research has been lower liver fat and calmer liver inflammation. Pomegranate works on the fat itself, too. It helps your body handle blood fats called triglycerides, the same fats that get dumped into an overworked liver, and it supports the liver's ability to clear them out instead of storing them. For a fruit that tastes like a dessert, it is doing serious metabolic work overnight. A word on what to buy, because this one trips people up. The whole seeds are what you want, not the sugary bottled pomegranate drinks, which strip out the fiber and concentrate the sugar until you are basically drinking soda. If you buy juice at all, make it a small splash of pure, unsweetened juice, never the cocktail blends. In the evening, about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of the fresh seeds is a perfect amount. Sprinkle them over plain yogurt or eat them by the spoonful. A quick way to seed one without the mess is to have it and tap the back with a wooden spoon over a bowl, and the seeds drop right out. That burst of tart sweetness makes it feel like a real treat, which is exactly the point because it keeps you away from the things that actually hurt your liver at night. Number 7 is papaya. And this is the one almost nobody in this country thinks to eat for their liver. Papaya carries a natural enzyme called papain, which helps your body break down protein and ease the digestive load. And it is packed with antioxidants like beta-carotene and vitamin C that the liver leans on. In the parts of the world where papaya grows, the fruit and even its seeds have been used for liver support for generations. And modern work is starting to back up why. The antioxidants in papaya help defend liver cells against the kind of damage that drives fat accumulation and early scarring. It is also gentle and low in sugar, which makes it a smart fruit to eat at night. A struggling, sluggish digestion at bedtime puts more strain on the liver, and papaya helps things move. Use about 1 cup of fresh papaya cubed in the evening. Squeeze a little lime over it, which lifts the flavor and adds even more vitamin C. If fresh papaya is hard to find near you, a ripe one keeps well, and it is worth asking your grocer to stock it. Number 8 is the surprise I promised you, and it is grapefruit. The one fruit a lot of people over 60 have been told to stay away from. Let me explain both sides because this is important. Grapefruit is one of the best fruits in the world for a fatty liver. It is rich in a compound called naringenin, the antioxidant that gives grapefruit its slight bitterness. And naringenin has been shown to push the liver toward burning fat and to reduce the fat stored inside liver cells. It also fights the inflammation that turns a simple fatty liver into a scarred one. Ounce for ounce, few fruits do more for the organ we are talking about tonight. So, why are people warned off? Grapefruit contains compounds that block an enzyme in your gut called CYP3A4, the enzyme that breaks down many common medications. With that enzyme blocked, Certain drugs build up to higher levels than intended. This matters most with some cholesterol statins, certain blood pressure pills, and a handful of other medications. This is the one fruit on this list where I have to be direct with you. If you take any prescription medication, do not add grapefruit until you have asked your doctor or pharmacist whether it is safe with your specific list. For many people, it is completely fine. For some, it is not, and only your own medication list can answer that. If you are clear to eat it, half a grapefruit in the evening or a few segments is a perfect liver-supporting note to end the day on. A little sweetness from a sprinkle of cinnamon takes the bitter edge off without sugar. Before I give you the bonus recipe, I need to draw a clear line, the way I would in my own office. These fruits support a liver that is fatty or stressed. They are not a treatment for a liver that is already in trouble. If you have yellowing of your skin or the whites of your eyes, that is jaundice, and it means you see a doctor promptly. The same goes for pain or swelling in the upper right side of your belly, dark urine or unexplained swelling in your legs and abdomen. Those are not fruit problems, those are some problems. And if you already carry a diagnosis of liver disease, hepatitis, or you are on medication, fold these fruits in only with your doctor's blessing, especially the grapefruit. Food is the foundation, it is not the whole house. Let me tell you about someone I will call Patricia. She was 64, recently retired, and she came in feeling fine, just tired in a way she could not shake. Her blood work told a different story. Her ALT, that liver enzyme I mentioned, was up, and an ultrasound showed a moderately fatty liver. She was stunned. She barely drank, and she had always assumed liver trouble was a drinker's problem. We did not start with a prescription. We started with her evenings. Patricia had a habit of winding down with a bowl of cereal or a couple of cookies most nights, right before bed, right as her liver was meant to start its night shift. We swapped that. Some nights it was kiwi and a few blueberries, other nights half an avocado on toast or apple slices with cinnamon. On the weekend, grapefruit after her pharmacist confirmed it was safe with her pressure pill, and she added a 10-minute walk after dinner. 3 months later, her ALT had come down toward the normal range and the heavy tiredness had lifted. Her liver was doing what a liver does when you stop fighting it. None of this was a miracle. It was her giving the organ its night shift back. Now, the bonus I promised, the simple bedtime recipe that puts the best of these into one glass. I call it the bedtime liver tonic, and it takes 2 minutes. Into a blender, put 1 whole kiwi, peeled or scrubbed. Add a small handful of blueberries, about 1/4 cup. Add 1/4 of an avocado for that glutathione and the healthy fat. Pour in about half a cup of plain unsweetened kefir or plain yogurt, which brings probiotics for the gut-liver connection we talked about, and a splash of water to loosen it. Finish with a small shake of real cinnamon. Blend it smooth. That is it. It is low in sugar, rich in the exact antioxidants and fiber your liver wants overnight, and it gives you something to reach for at night that is working for your liver instead of against it. Drink it about an hour before bed in place of the snack that used to undo your whole night. Let me give you a couple of easy variations so you do not get bored of it, because the one you actually keep doing is the one that works. On a night you want it to feel more like dessert, drop in a few red grapes or a spoonful of pomegranate seeds before you blend. If your stomach is sensitive at night, skip the kefir and use plain water with a few of the blueberries and the avocado, which you do not have to. A small bowl of kiwi and blueberries with a spoon of plain yogurt does most of the same work. The tool is not the blender. The tool is the swap, trading the late-night starch for the fruit. Notice I left the grapefruit out of the blended recipe on purpose because of the medication issue we covered. Keep grapefruit separate, eaten on its own, and only if your doctor or pharmacist has cleared it with your list. So, here is exactly what to do tonight, 5 simple steps. 1. Close your kitchen earlier. Try to make your last food of the night one of these fruits instead of a starch or a sweet, so your liver starts its night shift empty. 2. Pick 1 fruit from tonight's list that is already in your house and eat a small portion of it about an hour before bed. 3. If you want the full effect, make the bedtime liver tonic. Kiwi, blueberries, a little avocado, plain kefir, a shake of cinnamon. 4. Add a 10-minute walk after dinner. It helps your muscles pull sugar out of your blood before it ever reaches the liver. 5. If you take any prescription medication, write down 1 question for your pharmacist this week. Is grapefruit safe with my list? That 1 question protects you and unlocks the best liver fruit there is. Now, eating the right fruit at night is half the picture. The other half is what you do first thing in the morning, because there are a few ordinary morning habits, things you might be doing every single day with the best of intentions, that quietly feed a fatty liver and undo the good work you did overnight. In my next video, I will walk you through the morning routine that protects your liver and the common breakfast mistake that puts fat right back where you do not want it. I will see you there.